Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 here in Boulder Canyon. We're going to carry on with sowing our wheat here on this field. We've done the fertilizer spreading across that field up there, and we've done one coat on the field down here. So if we go and take a quick look down this way to soil composition. Ooh, I forgot about that. We need to put lime. No, I didn't forget, I just didn't realize. We need to put lime on the field. So we'll let it carry on doing this, but we're going to have to put a coat of lime across the field as well, and then we'll put some fertilizer over it. We've got one layer of fertilizer across the field. Is that the light or the dark? That should be the darker one. That's... Zoom in a little bit. Okay, I haven't put fertilizer on the grass field. I forgot about that. Right, I need to go and put fertilizer on the grass field. And we need to get lime across all of the fields. So what I'm going to do then... I didn't realize we actually needed to do lime today. I thought we were going to be doing some tree harvesting, actually. But that's alright. We will do this. So we will take this one. We will raise that one up like that. And we're going to run straight off towards the grass field. We've got 1 times speed at the moment because we are planting, and we don't want the plants to be half grown on one side of the field and not on the other. Somebody did say, why don't I use the AI vehicle extension to do the outside rounds for like planting and stuff? I've found that the AI vehicle extension is good, but when it comes to trailed machines going around the outside edge of the field, it gets a little bit weird. Strange things do happen from time to time. So rather than sort of mess around with it too much, I do generally just do it myself going around the edge of the field, and it seems to make the job a little bit easier. Everything seems to flow just a little bit better if I do it like that. So we'll put this coat of fertilizer on the field here. And then when I've done this, because I don't think you can do fertilizer spreading with the AI extension anyway. But once we've done this coat of fertilizer, I will do once around the outside edge of the field with it. We will then get the lime, and we'll start using this one for spreading lime. Now, unfortunately, lime spreading with this spreader does take quite a while to do. It's not so much that it takes a long time to do, it's that it uses up the lime really, really quickly, and it's a little bit inconvenient. Now, I was asking in the last episode about the cattle pen, putting the cattle pen down up here, and I wanted to know what you all thought of it, whether we should put the cattle pen up here. Some of you said that this sort of land formation that we've got here, I was saying that would end up being like really, really boggy or something. And several of you said, well, actually, you've got places like that in real life. And yeah, the one thing that almost all of you said is that, yes, you do have little dips like that in real life. And number 2, they are an absolute pain because they're almost always boggy. If you're going to get a machine stuck, it's going to be in one of those little dips in a field where there's no sort of proper natural drainage. Now, one thing, the other thing was a lot of you said find somewhere else to put the cattle pen. Don't put the cattle pen up here, it's going to be too expensive. We weren't going to put the cattle pen down the bottom because of the price, not the price, because lag issues. However, lag issues seem to be a small price to pay for the issues that we're going to get regarding money trying to put the thing up here. So it might be that we end up just taking the lag issues, putting up with it, and carrying on regardless. So we will have to see about that. I'm just going to bring this one round here like this, and then we'll carry on down the field. I'm actually going to press H once I line it up here. And hopefully it will just then carry on doing the rest of the field. So if I just do that, press H on there, we'll watch it down and then back up again and see what it's like going over there. We might be able to just manually straighten it up ourselves a little bit and get it to do that. So this one's going to keep going here. And then... So it looks like we might end up putting the cattle pen down over there. We were going to put the pigs over there anyway because it was close to the yard. The only reason I was going to put the cows up here was for lag, mostly. And I thought, you know, it's not going to be very difficult to store bales up here, and we don't need any of the other stuff that we've got down at the yard. But, you know, overall, it may still be better to put them down there. So we're going to have to clear more trees down there to make room for a cattle pen and a pig pen. And then also a second sheep pen, because that's one thing I wanted to do to be able to make a decent bit of money was a second sheep pen. So we've got a little bit ahead of us, and that means that this field up here, we're going to have this great big rock right in the middle of it, which is going to be a slight nuisance when it comes to working the field, but it's not going to be a massive hardship. We will be able to work our way around it without too much trouble, and I'm hoping, if it's just that little tiny little bit there, I'm not going to worry about it. It is just a tiny little bit, so we're not going to worry about it. Yes, it does pain me to look. Maybe I'll go back over if I remember at the end and just get that bit, but the entire field is now going to be spread with fertilizer without any issues. So I'm quite pleased with that. That's a great step in the right direction. That entire area, like all the way down through, this will end up being a just one large field that we will work. We'll start off by working it as a grass field so that we can get a load of hay and stuff like that ready for the cows. But I don't know how much we're going to want. Honestly, I don't know how much we're going to want. Maybe 1 or 2 cuts on here, and then we put the crop as something different after that. It might be that we don't need to do any more than that. Alright, just need a drink there. Yeah, that could be a really good solution, I think. If we can have all the cows down there, then we have a nice big field here, and this will end up being a really, really big field, this will, all the way along. I might do something different with the wall and the fence, although I don't think I will. I think we might just leave that wall and fence like it is right now, so we've got, it's slightly wider up here. So it's not a square field, it's more of a natural shaped field. It's going to be a little bit more difficult for us to work, but I actually think that's okay. That's not a bad thing, having a field that's a little bit more of an odd shape to work. And while those are busy working, I'm going to jump over here, and I'm going to get into some more of these trees, because we want to get these trees moved. This is kind of our next big thing, is getting these trees done. So the sooner I can get some of these trees moved, the better, and I'm going to have to spend quite a while up here going around with a stump grinder, unfortunately. That's probably the dullest job that we've got to do. I am also going to have to plow the entire thing, and that is another job that's going to take a while. I have forgotten so far to get the tree mod that I was going to get so that we could buy some trees, plant them along that bank. I've had enough people telling me that I've got to get something put along that bank to combat potential erosion, and to also stop the Environment Agency from getting onto us and getting really upset with us. I believe it's the EPA in the US, isn't it? EPA? Isn't that right? If I've learned anything from the Simpsons movies, it's that it's called EPA. Environmental Protection Agency. I think so. Don't quote me on this, I could be completely wrong, but I think it's EPA. Unless the Simpsons got it wrong, and in which case I will feel utterly and totally betrayed, because I thought the Simpsons movie was an excellent movie, well put together, and a highly educational piece about what to do should you ever throw a large silo of pig manure into a water supply. You really don't want to do that. And then, of course, you've got Homer Simpson's water quality control. Not sure if that was actually in the Simpsons movie or if that was in just an episode of the Simpsons. He was talking about their water, and he said it's you got a very simple rule to follow around here. He said, when it comes to water out of your tap, if it's brown, drink it down. If it's black, send it back. I thought that was absolutely brilliant. Then that's your water coming out of the tap, by the way. That is water coming out of the tap for your drinks. Yeah, interesting philosophy on life, I suppose. But that's the I like The Simpsons. Although it must be said, I do like The Simpsons, but I have hardly seen any content whatsoever past around season 12, I think it is. It's about season 12. I've seen hardly anything at all. A very, very, very small amount of material. Just a few episodes past season 12. And that's about it. And this does surprise me, because I really do love The Simpsons, but I've just never gotten around to it. I own all of the seasons 1 through 10 on DVD box sets, and I've watched them several times, but I've never really watched very much past season 12. Mostly because I just not had the time, and I don't have TV myself, so I've like, gone are the days where I used to catch up with that sort of thing whilst watching TV, because I no longer have any TV channels. I don't really count Netflix as a TV channel, and I just use Netflix for watching films and things that I consider to be important and educational, like Witcher, and the Dark Crystal series. Other than that, I don't tend to watch very much on the TV at all. If I have spare time, I tend to do what I do for my job anyway, which is play computer games. So yeah, I spend rather a lot of time in front of my PC, but that's all for computer gaming and not for very much else. I'm going to grab these two trees right here that are right next to each other, and then once I've done that, we're going to go and check on our tractors and see how they're getting on. The aim is, as quickly as possible now, to remove all of these trees, clear the tree stumps as well. We've got the right stump grinder for the job, and then finally, once we've done that, then we want to get the plow going in here. And if I remember, I'm hoping I remember, I will have the extra trees next time, so that we can go and buy a few and just plant them along there, because I don't want to go and get an actual tree planter and do it like that. And several of you have put in the comments that you don't want me to go messing around with a tree planter to do it like that either. So I will avoid using the tree planter to do it. We will just buy some trees and we will have them planted along the bank. It does cost extra. Helper F has completed their task. I said I want to do one more tree. Get these two here, so I will get this one done, and then we can go and deal with Helper F, which I suspect is the fertilizer. So we've got these out the way. We will go and deal with the fertilizer, and we need to unload that one in the yard, and then we need to get lime going. We've got a lime container somewhere there, I think. Pretty sure. Did I buy a lime container? This is the thing, is I'm not actually sure if I've bought a lime container yet. If I haven't, then we're going to have to go and get that. So first of all, let's go through our machinery here. You are actually doing a really, really good job, so we'll leave you to it and we won't complain. And you over here, it looks like you've actually gone round and properly finished the field all the way through. If I look like this, we do have a little bit there that I missed when I came around the corner. And there's slightly bigger, there's a couple spots here as well, but I can't even see them. There was one bit, if we're leaving this as a field, there's a rough patch right here. Look, you can see it right there. So when we come to do our ploughing, that rough spot right there is one that we need to do a little bit of work to. We need to do something about that. So we'll just have to smooth that out ever so slightly, and then we'll plough that bit as well when we come up here. Right. I'm not going to start doing... Well, the fertilizer spreading, the next coat of fertilizer that's needed on this crop field down here, that one we will do in a little while. We're not going to do that yet. We will do the lime first. We're not going to put lime onto the grass. We'll leave that one. We'll put lime on that field where, if and when we convert that one over to a crop field. At the moment, I don't want to put crops on there. I just want to put grass. So that's all. We're going to do one planting on there, and that's going to be it. Now, lime. Did not buy a lime station, did I? Didn't buy a lime station. So what have I got for lime? I don't have anything for lime. I've got a couple of pallets of lime over that way. So what we'll do is I'll bring this one back over to here like this, and I will take the cover off and I will lower it down like that, and then I will press I and I will unload that bit. Then I will bring this one in through here, go in round this way like this. I'll bring it up close to the lime right there, and I'll lower that one down, and I will load up what I can from here, but we're going to have to buy a lime station. That's something that we're going to need, because I do not have enough lime here to finish doing the entire field. There's definitely not. I definitely don't have enough to do the whole field. I will go round the outside edge of the field, I think. Or will I? No, I won't. I was just thinking, going around the outside edge of the field might be beneficial. I could do one pass here. Go across in front of the rock there. Make it a little bit easier for us. So we'll do one pass here. when you're spreading lime, it does a narrower coat than it does with... And we're only doing 9 miles an hour as well. Do I need to repair it? Is that what I need to do? And, yeah, you only get, like, 1 pass across the field. I remember this. It's painfully slow getting the entire process done because of how little you actually spread when you're going around the field. And that was the annoying thing about it when we went over and we did it the first time. So there's such a small amount of lime that you can actually get onto the field. And the only way you can really combat that is to get a much bigger spreader, which we don't have, and I don't want to go spending the money for it. I've got to spend the money on the lime first. So we'll go up this way and we'll just run some repair work a minute. Very nearly swiped the trailer there. Nearly is a miss is as good as a mile. As long as I missed, that was fine. Repair you for $76. That's why. Repair you as well, yes. Right. I need to keep this one in good repair. If I keep this one in good nick, we'd probably be able to go a little bit further. I reckon he'll go faster now. I reckon he's going to go faster this time. Let's bring you in this way, like that. And then I'll lower you down like that. It's ready to load. And it's 2,000 litres per pallet that you get with these. Isn't it? I thought it was 2,000 litres per pallet. It could, I think it is 2,000 litres a pallet. I think that we've got, I've just taken 1,000 from a second pallet there, rather than the pallet that we were on. Now, by going faster this time, we should cover more ground. Because that seems like, if we're doing 1,000 litres for just that space every time, we're gonna be spending an absolute fortune on this stuff. And away we go again. There. Is it just me, or is it spreading wider now? I don't know. It's still going 12... No, it was 9 miles an hour we were going before, wasn't it? It was 9 miles an hour. So we're going more than 9 miles an hour. That's for certain sure. I'm going to press H on there. So we're doing 12 miles an hour instead of 9. And I don't think it's spreading wider. I don't think we've now got a wider width on it. But the 9 miles an hour bit, going up to 12 miles an hour, that is a noticeable difference. And a very, very good difference. So we let that one run down there, and again, it's out. So this is going to be the story of our day for a little while. We're constantly going to, like, you barely get it going and then it runs out. Lime, I don't want our lime station up this end near the farm because that's further away from the field. We want it as close to the field as possible. This is the field. And I'd like to be able to complete this series using just this spreader. I don't think we need to have a bigger spreader than this. I think that we are able to do everything that we need to do with just this one. It's just that we need to be a little bit careful how we do it, I think. Let's load you up there. And that one is now done. Close you. Lift you up like that. So where are we going to put the lime loading station? I'm thinking probably not right down the other end. Probably up here on this corner would be the best spot. I think that would be the best spot because that would be accessible then to both fields fairly easily. And it's certainly not out of the way to go and put something right up on the corner like that. And it's not unrealistic either, I don't feel. Now bring you to there and start you up again. Off you go with a whoosh at 12 miles an hour. At least I've realised that it was it was going way too slow fairly early on there because that could have been pretty bad. And I'll bring you to there. Now I'm going to manually go around the rest of the field, just one pass. Like this. It's going to take a while to get all the way around the field. I'll actually start from the other side, I think, in a minute. Although, no, what I could do is just go along here like this, then go back over, we'll get the hired help running again, and just running it up and down the field. So we get over to there, like that. Then we'll get the hired help running up and down the field and do that section out while this one finishes this off. And then we can go round the edge of that one in a minute, just to sort of finish that and get the rest done. So I go and get the last bit of lime that we've got sat at our place, and then up by those trees, that's where we're going to put the lime station. And we will buy that one. That is going to be our next purchase. It's about 30 grand to buy that one, unfortunately. It's not the cheapest of stations to buy. All the others are like 10,000 each. There is others that we can... there is actually other options that we could use. But if we're going to sort of stick with kind of the sort of thing that we've got at the moment with the various different loading stations... And that one is fully loaded up there. Pick that one up. We'll get this one back into the field. Running up and down the field. And then I really shouldn't really go cutting across the grass there. Yeah, I'll get this one running up and down the field here. And then we will jump into the shop and get the lime stations. Like I said, there's a couple of options that we might be able to use. Not quite sure which one I want yet, and I'm going to move you over a little bit. I don't want too much overlapping going on. So let's bring you over to there like that. It's out a bit. And it's not leaving a gap down through there. Okay, that's good. So then we want to go over to you. Miscellaneous, it's under. It's in here. And I've got a lime station there, which is 30,000. And then there are various other stations as well, except I don't have any of them available on here, I don't think, unless they're not under farmhouses. Are they under decoration? I don't think they are. No, I don't have the mods active on this map. It's basically like the shed that I've got in the time-lapse series. That's the one that I was looking for, but I don't have that one available on this series, unfortunately, and I've just run out of lime. Right, in which case, we're just going to go with what we got, rather than waiting until next time. If I just go with this one right here, we can then load this one up. So I'll spin you around like that. I'll bring you all the way back up here. And that there seems to me to be a really good spot to go and put something like a lime station. If I drop that in there, unfortunately it has just gone and made a mess of the track. So I'm going to have to correct that. So come down here like this and look, see, there, it's made a real pig's ear of it. So we're going to have to just straighten that bit out like that. And I do a big lot of leveling work on that. Right the way around there. It's going to have to go right in close to the station there. That would be better. Want that to be leveled like that. Right, and... yeah, so you got to bring it out enough so that you sort of feather off that thing. You don't end up with any step. I think that would probably be alright like that. Okay, now we can take you back. We can go bumping along our track over here. And we've got a lime station down here. 30 grand it may have cost us. I mean, the sheds I was talking about, like the ones that I've got in the time-lapse series, and also on the Alp series as well, by the way. Those aren't cheap. They're still like 25,000 each. So, I think they are anyway. It's not like we would be getting... it's not like we'd be saving loads of money, so that's why I'm not too concerned about waiting until next time. Get to there and start that one up. There we go. Blast. I don't even need to lower it down for here, do I? Because the overloading pipe, you would be able to fasten a pipe onto that and then overload it into your machine. And it wouldn't be particularly difficult to go and do that. So we're getting one pass down across the field on the full length of the field here. With the shorter lengths coming up now, it should make a slight difference. Should improve things a little bit. Bring you to about there and start. And that one will go up to there, and then he will stop, and he will turn round. I'm going to leave that one go. I'm going to leave that one go as... oh, actually, how much seed was left? Okay, we got plenty of seed on there. I want to very quickly get up here and see if I can get a tree or two cut down before the lime runs out. It's going right now, it's at 80%. I think we're maybe going to get one tree cut while we do each load of lime. But, I mean, that's sort of breaking it up a little bit, I feel. It's breaking it up a little bit. Bring that one over there. Yeah, I'm literally going to be able to do one load each time. That is it. There, one tree for each load. So that one's there. And then I go to this one over here, and we are just about out of lime. There we go. So I'm going to load up the lime now. And then I'm going to manually just finish off that little bit there and start the next bit. And then I'm going to load it up again because I'm right next to it. So it just sort of seems like it would be a sensible idea to grab it while we're really, really close, like this. There. Take that. And then I'm going to bring this over this way and start spreading there. Go across it like this. And then I'm going to bring that down over there. Kind of like that, I think. That's about where I want it. Maybe I'll go over a little tiny bit more just to line it up. But I'm already down 70% just going across that bit. Just trying to do a tidy up job. Bring you back up to here again and get that 300 litres of lime. Fortunately, lime isn't very expensive. Right, that there, 300 litres of lime was $66. I can't remember what 1,000 is. We'll have a look when we next load up our load. So bring you in over here. I can move it. I can nudge it out a little tiny bit from here. Not very much, though. There was a little tiny bit of overlap, so we're looking at maybe a wheel's width or something like that. And down we go. Right. That's perfect. That's fine. So let's quickly go through. You're doing just fine. And back up to here again. Bring you over here. I may, now that I've got, if this one's already started up and already in position, and we very luckily managed to grab that one. Wondering if we've got time to do 2 trees. I don't think we have, to be honest. It's already at 30%. This is, if I want to keep the lime running absolutely flat out the whole time, then... Oh no, he's now turning. While he turns at the bottom of the field, we've got just enough time, as long as we don't mess around too much doing anything daft like this, not lining up our tree properly, our harvester properly. We have got time to do another one. There. Grab that one, and now he's just draining out the last of the lime in the machine. So while it does that, there we go, he's empty. I'm just going to bring this one down here a little bit, and then I'm going to stop it there, and we're going to go... Oops. Go straight through to you. We go up across the field again and grab them. So we've left a tiny little... There's a couple tiny spots. It's really, really noticeable, the bits that are left behind when you're doing the lime. Like, really, really noticeable. Whereas, like with fertilizer, seed and everything, you can still see the little spots that are left behind, but they are nowhere near as, like, prominently displayed as they are when you're doing lime. So 1,000 litres of lime. That's what we're going to buy. How much is this going to cost us? It's not very much, is it? It is $224. That's pretty reasonable, actually. I mean, when you think about it, that's not a huge amount of money that we're spending per load. It is a good job, really, considering how much we got to do. I mean, if we're looking at about one pass across the field and it's $224, we've spent well over $1,000 so far. We're going to end up buying in... what do we reckon? What am I reckoning on this? Probably $4,000 worth of lime in total. I reckon maybe $4,000 worth. Which is... It's definitely not cheap. You are finished now. You can stay finished for a minute. Let's go and get another tree. We'll come back to that one in a minute. We'll do that one next. We'll get this tree this time, and then we'll go and get the seed drill after we've reloaded the fertilizer once again. Helper A is already... Oh no, this the other dude is finished. The lime is still going. So I can chop this tree here, and then I can move the harvester in and get it lined up with our next tree. Right, you're done. And bring that one out over there. Yeah, lime is now racing away. I can get this one... I'll bring it over here. He's lined up there, ready to go. And then I can jump over to you. Literally just stopped there and then. We're going to want to do the rest of the outside rounds. I won't do it this time. What I'll do is I'll go and load up with lime right now. There's another little tiny spot that we've missed. I'll load up with lime and I'll put it going. Then we will get the case and we'll move that one off the field so that that one is out of the way. And then then we come back to this one and we load it up again and Then we can do the last little bit around the edge of the field over there, and then we can go back to working the rest of the land work on the field. Once we've done all of this, we're then going to need to go over the field again with fertilizer. That's going to be a nice easy job. Right, this doing the fertilizer bit is going to be the easy bit. We're not going to have to worry about anything complicated with that. And bring you to there like that. Then I can go to you. You've got a couple of little spots kicking around. Nothing much, really. Nothing that I'm too concerned about. I'll grab these while I'm going up across here just because I can. But there's no spots that I feel that are actually worth going back and getting. It looks like everything has been properly planted all the way through. So we will get you right there. Like that. And then I'll fold you up. Right. So that one's done. I'll take this one right over so that we can hose it off. And we'll also run a repair job on it. And then we're going to want to get it loaded back up with seed and everything so that it is ready for the next planting, which is going to be the trees up the top. But we're not quite ready to start that yet. I want to have a look in here, and I want to take a look at the overall picture. So we've got growth right there. That's not what I'm looking for. I don't see any spots of the oats underneath. I don't see anything coming through, and I don't see any purple. There's a couple of little tiny spots right there, and there's a couple there. That's about it. So it's not anything that we need to be concerned about. And you have come right up to there like that. I need to do the rest of the rounds around the outside of the field. We're just about out of time for today's episode. We'll do the bits around the outside of the field. We'll load up here, and then we're going to go across the yard for this bit. So I'll load up right there, and then we'll go straight across the yard, and we'll start that way. I don't know if we're going to have enough to actually finish going around the edge of the field, or if we're going to have to come back, get one more load to finish doing that bit before we can, go back to doing the land work. And I think I will go back to doing the land work over on that side of the field, but on the short runs. Those bits, they're always the wasteful bits, aren't they? Those short runs over there, when you're going into a shallow triangle edge, there is nothing you can do about it. You're going to be crossing over an awful lot of product. It's a wasteful run. Right? That's the wasteful bit going up through there, and that's the bit that I've never really liked. As it, like, you always, especially when it's a time-consuming job like this, and you're going backwards and forwards a lot with different things. You're very, very aware of just how much time you're wasting when you're going along and you've got this tiny little strip that's hardly getting anything, because most of it is doubling up what you've already previously done. It's painful. It's genuinely painful, and you don't like to do it at all. Right, there's that one done. I need... yeah, there's going to be another load to finish this off yet. And then we can go on to the land work. But I've run out of time for today's episode, so we'll get this one loaded up, and then we can carry on with it in the next episode. If you've enjoyed this episode, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.